What's going on, everyone? So, yesterday's game against the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings might have been the best preseason game ever. Like, that game was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it was like their playoff series all over again. These two teams love to go after each other. And the Warriors ended up squeaking away with the 1 point win. They were down as much as 18 early in that game. They could have packed it in. It's a preseason game, right? Like, you usually use preseason as like a way to just work on the pros and cons, right? What are the things that you can use that you're doing well at that are the building blocks and foundation going into the season? What are the things that you need to work on and improve on so that way you can then take that step into contention or whatever that may be, depending on what team you are? And these are two very talented teams. These are two teams that should be in, the top five at worst of the conference. The Warriors, however, again, it was really shocking to see them take this so serious, right? Like Sacramento, throughout the course of this preseason, has taken this preseason rather serious, which, I mean, you can make an argument is rather concerning, considering that they're 0-4 in preseason. Now, look, preseason isn't the be-all, end-all, right? I mean, we've seen plenty of teams do horrible in the preseason and win the NBA championship. We've seen teams go undefeated in preseason and win the NBA championship, right? Or lose the NBA championship. And this was kind of polar opposites for both teams, right? Warriors are now 4-0 throughout preseason. Sacramento is 0-4 in preseason. Sacramento, again, was trying just as the Warriors. But to me, I look at it as like two completely different, like both teams trying throughout the course of preseason for two different reasons, right? Sacramento's a young team that is hungry and wants to prove themselves. The Warriors are a team that's coming off of a very disappointing season, just added Chris Paul, and want to kind of right the ship early on and get prepared to not have an abysmal NBA season again, right? The Warriors were climbing an uphill battle all season last year that, that's the last thing they need to do, and the last thing that you want to see from them is them to go into that. Now, as far as this game goes individually, this was just them wanting to one-up each other, right? Like, again, like Sacramento, they've played very hard this preseason. We've seen them play starters, even like Malik Monk, things like that, and pretty much all the games late. The Warriors have done not as much, I feel, as the Kings have, right? Other than this game. The Warriors, will play like their starters and stuff the first 2 quarters, 2.5 quarters, whatever, and then kind of go with Kuminga and Moody late, and then, if they have the commanding lead, they'll kind of send out the troops, right? But this came down to just absolute Steph heroics, right? I mean, that's what this game was. Like, if you actually watch this game, it was just Steph putting on an absolute show at the end of the game. I mean, he hit some crazy shots, and it's funny. Like, you would think we'd be accustomed and used to just seeing Steph go absolutely bonkers in a game, and yet it's still amazing the things that he does. You're just sitting there like, come on, dude, there's no way, right? Like that bank shot, if you saw the game, that like where he was trying to draw the contact, hit that ridiculous bank shot. Man, and you thought it was over when it was Dario Saric when he ended up missing both free throws, which is surprising because he's like an 89% free throw shooter or whatever. He ended up missing both free throws, and that would have actually gave the Warriors the lead. But Steph was like, don't worry about it. No big deal. Watch this. And ended up winning the game. And Fox had a chance there at the end. He just wasn't able to knock it down. But this was just, I mean, this preseason period, if I'm being honest, was a lot of fun, right? Like we're coming towards the end of it, and teams are playing their last games and stuff. But most teams took this pretty serious and like we're going after each other. I mean, not to like this level. Again, this Sacramento Golden State game was just, it was next level. Like genuinely, like this was a Very fun, exciting game, right? This was like a high stakes regular season, just like the playoff series type game. Like both teams, I don't know if I'd call it a rivalry yet, right? But they clearly want to beat each other, right? Like they clearly are trying to prove a point to each other, right? The new school versus the old school. And I mean, there's ties, right? You have, the Warriors and Sacramento playing last season, the head coach, familiarity, being a part of the Warriors and their organization, Mike Brown. So, like, there is this sense of, like, Sacramento, oh, you're the old team, we're the new team, we're coming in, right? De'Aaron Fox, he's the next wave, right? Like, Sabonis, all the Sacramento, like, there's that sense from them. And the Warriors are kind of like, no, like, we're still here. You have to beat us. You have to take us off the court if you want us off the court type thing. But I mean, their games are just a lot of fun, just explosive, right? Because they do have their similarities, without a doubt. And just seeing De'Aaron Fox, especially late down the stretch, he had what I believe 11 points or something like that in the fourth quarter. Him and Steph just kind of going head to head down the stretch, and Steph getting the one up on him. This game at least, it's just been fun to really watch these guys go after each other. And I thought it was worth a video. I thought it was worth the discussion because it was a really good game. Steph was absolutely brilliant, and I'm excited to see how this goes. Chris Paul continues to shine for them, but granted, it's easy for him because he's just doing what he always does, and it allows Steph to kind of play off the ball more. So he's kind of more productive. He was super efficient this game, 8 of 12 from 3, 10 of 18 from the floor. Got everything he wanted. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. First off, did you see the game? If you saw it, what did you think of the game? What do you think of, like, Steph's heroics, right? Like, it's just ridiculous. Would you call Sacramento and Golden State a rivalry? Like, me personally, I wouldn't, right? Because this didn't really become a thing till, like, last year. And even then, like, Sacramento's still a little brother, so to speak, right? Sacramento still, wasn't winning. Although, I mean, I think you could make a real genuine argument if De'Aaron Fox doesn't get hurt. Do the Warriors actually win that series? I mean, I'm sure some people believe so, but I don't know. It's at least an interesting thought. But I'm excited for the matchups. It's like every game that these two teams play are just like down to the wire, bear in, like, it's just this like chess match. It's like who's gonna come out ahead, Steph Curry or De'Aaron Fox? They're just duking it out. Who's the guy that's chipping in? Is it Clay? Is it Sabonis? Is it Malik Monk? Right? It's just this constant back and forth. And I mean, look, basketball in general is a game of runs. I mean, you want to talk about runs though? The Warriors in Sacramento is like, it's just who has the biggest streaks at times, right? It's like Sacramento's up 15, and then it's like, oh, they're down 10, and then it's like, oh, they're up 12, and then, oh, they're down 2. And then you get to the end of the game, and it's like, oh, okay, like the last team makes the push. You got like a tie game or like a 1-point game late, and then it's like, okay, well, who's going to hit the key shots down the stretch? And they have two guys that have been very clutch, right? De'Aaron Fox has been one of the best clutch players in the league the last few years. He's leading the NBA in fourth quarter points and stuff like that. It's just it's going to be an exciting matchup, and I really want to see them play each other in the playoffs, like badly. Right? Like that was such a fun series, and this game was so much fun. It's just like you look at if you watch the NFL, right? The preseason in the NFL was literally unwatchable, in my opinion. I tried to watch it. I had friends and stuff that I talked to and stuff, and they were just like, dude, like, it's terrible. Like, right? Like, and, like, preseason, I get some people don't take it fully serious, you're trying to work out stuff, but, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like I genuinely feel this preseason has been a lot of fun and just like competitive. Right? That's probably the best way to put it. Like it's been very competitive. Teams are going after each other. Teams are genuinely trying to win. You have teams trying to, basically one up each other and all this. Like, seriously, like it's been great to see just some of these games, right? Like they're just a lot of fun, right? Especially, or at least the like first halves and stuff like that, right? When like the key players are playing, but a lot of these teams are playing at least rotation guys or like key pieces late in games and stuff. So I don't know, but anyway, I really do like. You can make a genuine argument that Warriors Kings game was like the best preseason game we've ever seen, right? I mean, they that meant something to both of those teams. But again, let me know your thoughts and opinions. However you feel, down in the comments.